Yes.
Sure. I wanted to ask Stefan this, but I guess I'll ask you it. Yesterday, I was trying to ask, and I think I was cut off, but my question was, he said, who gets to use this room is really my decision. So I wanted to ask you, it's something I've asked him before.
Let's make sure that everyone gets the opportunity to ask questions, please.
Thanks. What I wanted to ask is that there was an instance in September 23rd, 2014, where the French delegation of François Hollande used the room. There was it was called a misunderstanding. I have some communication with Stefan. At that time, I guess what I want to know is, between then and now, how often does this happen? And is it really the case that one individual decides who uses the room? And I ask because we're often told here that everything is about member states. And so I wanted to know, between September 23rd, 2014 and Friday, when it was again, I guess, lent out, to UNCA, how many private uses of this room have there been? And I'm asking because, given that I think it's an extraordinary claim to say it's one person's decision who uses it. I'd just like to know, how many times was it used?
It's our office that gets consulted on these matters. There's a big difference between providing rooms for briefings, where we try to make sure that briefings are open to all reporters, and providing the room just as a room for a different sort of event by an organization or by a group. But in any case, it's our office that controls the use of the room.
But so do you have the information? Can you give a list?
It's not really.
It's
yes,
important because
yes,
it leads to
we have-
misunderstandings
yes, we
about
have
when
the-
something is public and when it's not. Excuse me. I'm
You
sorry.
know, I was making sure that your question would be accorded with due respect. So
Okay.
please do not talk
Sure, I
over my
wanted to clarify.
answers.
Go ahead.
The basic point is, yes, we know who holds meetings in this room. We're the ones who have the keys. We hold the responsibility for opening the room up. We do that primarily for press briefings. Every now and then there are things like organizational meetings or other things that are not briefings.
So why is there a problem providing that list if you have the list and you obviously have the information? Is it somehow confidential?
It's not confidential, but frankly, the problem with the room last Friday had to do with a violation caused by one individual hiding in the room and
hide. It's
surreptitiously
because you've said it. I want to say it again. Take a look.
Surreptitiously
Look
recording
into the room.
colleagues.
I'm sitting there live tweeting it and periscoping it, so it's hardly hiding. But I want to ask you again, in the spirit of, quote, transparency, you have the information. This doesn't seem like there's any reason that it's secret. Just can you provide a list of uses of this room by your office lent out between September 23rd and Friday?
I can ask Stefan, but honestly, this is something that we
That's the request.
provide information for our colleagues in the Department of Public Information. It's not a secret, and it's and to that extent. But I don't want you to muddy the issue. The problem of last Friday was not a problem having to do with the use of the room.
I'm not muddying the information.
That was entirely legitimate.
When François
What's
Hollande held a
unusual
press
is for
conference
one
here,
person
I was asked to leave. They said they would call security, and I didn't leave because I feel there's a right to cover events in this room. Now, if you can provide me a list, you should provide the list.
All right, you can say what you want to justify your actions. Yes.
Yeah. Take a look. It's glass. Yeah, it's really hiding.
So this is just a brief post-briefing broadcast. After on Friday, throwing inner city press out of the press briefing room while an organization that has accepted funds from Eng Lep Sang held a private event. Today, when asked why he did it and why he turned off the camera, the UN spokesman claimed, and it's sort of a threat, that inner city press was hiding in the briefing room. And I just want to show with this broadcast, this is a glassed-in room. This is an entirely glassed-in room, entirely visible from the podium he said it from the seats where the head of UNCA was speaking. And so it's an entirely fraudulent excuse. And he didn't answer why he turned off the press's camera. And the organization in question tried to bring a whole dream team, but they didn't have any questions. And so there we have it. No questions at all. And really, this spokesman is essentially emboldened. He's in so deep with these guys, he said you should have to join them. Previously, that was another spokeswoman. She's one that said from the very podium, you don't care about answers while not answering questions. But this today was a new low. A new low. And so, a new approach begins. We're actually going to keep this going for just a little bit more. Here's the clubhouse. They could have held it. Look, this is where they could have held their annual meeting instead of taking over the private briefing room, the press briefing room, and privatizing it. It's an enormous room that the UN gives them. No reason at all. Now, finally, let's check it out. You can't smell, but please check it out. This has been here for 3 days.